Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. I've got a couple of the Fam Five with me this morning. Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, is in the house. And hello from Grenada, Denise Annalise Spiller, our gig expert, here to share with us from beautiful Grenada. And we are happy to be with you guys on this Transformation Tuesday. I'm imagining the others will join us before long. We know our dadpreneur, Brian Smart, is busy with daddy duties, getting his daughter off to school. And Eric, I wonder if it's too cold to ground this morning. I don't think it's ever too cold for Eric to ground. He figures it out. So we should see the other two. But in the meantime and in between time, here we are. We are ready to go. So glad to be with you guys on this Transformation Tuesday. As always, I've got a quote to get us started. Let's see if I can share that with you. Here we go. Transformation. Let's get the mouth awake this morning. Transformation is not for the faint hearted. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self discovery, rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. So let me read that one again since I kind of bumbled through it. Transformation is not for the faint hearted. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. That one really jumped out at me when I was doing my research on transformation and looking for something to share, because we're talking short term versus long term pain. And I think that pain is can show up in all kinds of different ways. But one of the first things that comes to mind for me is unfulfillment. You know, if you aren't walking in your purpose, if you're not fulfilling that thing that was uniquely designed, that you were uniquely designed to bring forth, there's an emptiness, there's a yearning, there's a longing that doesn't get filled by you, and the results of that is not felt by the world. So us coming into our purpose and doing what we're designed to do doesn't just affect us, it affects everyone around us, and it has a ripple effect. It may affect folks generations from now, people that we may never know, because you've helped somebody who can help somebody who can help somebody, and it just keeps going. So us finding our purpose, walking in our gifting, is not just fulfilling to us, but it is a gift right back to the world. I see Favor has joined us. Someone say good morning from San Antonio, Texas, but you're showing up as LinkedIn user. So I am not sure who you are. So drop your name so I can properly greet you. Vicus or Vicus, I see you there. I see Sonia. Good morning, Sonia. Always glad to have you with us. I also is it Favor? Um, I see Favor Samuel's name mentioned by Vicus, so maybe you can see Favor and I can't. So welcome everyone. We are just getting started. I just shared the quote, which is transformation is not for the faint-hearted. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self-discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. Good morning, Lisa. So, when we are not walking in our purpose, when we're not tapped in and self aware, there's this dull pain that I was talking about. And I liken it to a longing, to unfulfillment, to that yearning for something that you might not even quite be able to put your hands on, but you know something's missing. There's something in your life, or that's not in your life, that should be there. So that's what I think about when I read this quote, is how important it is for us to spend that time discovering who we really are and why we were created, because we were all created for a purpose. You know, some people are born and they say it was an accident. that the parents did not intend to create a child. I understand that in their timing, that may not have been their intention in that moment, but there are no accidents. The fact that with all the things that have to go right in order for life to be, and all the things that have to continue to go for that 9, 10 months for the baby to come into being, and for us to make it through the birth process and get to now, for me, 55 years later, I was an ideal accident because my mom had me so young. She was still in her early high school years, and now all of a sudden, instead of just being a student, now she's a mom. That wasn't the intention, but I by no means was an accident. Everything that has happened since the moment of my conception was by divine design, including my conception. I was meant to be here. I was meant to serve a purpose. There was something for me to do. Can you imagine walking through life with one or with either of those mindsets? If you walk through life and you feel like you were an accident, can you imagine what that would do to your psyche? So, for those of you like me who were born under, we'll say, unplanned circumstances, I am a living witness that you are no accident. I'm one of my mom's biggest accomplishments. We laugh about that sometimes. She started with me when she was 14, 15 years old. Definitely wasn't planning to be a mother. But she produced a good person. She produced a good citizen. She produced someone that's loving and works hard and gives back. That's not an accident. But you can imagine how I walked through life at some points in time feeling like that. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do the mindset work that moved me from realizing how purposeful my life is. You take me away, and a whole branch of my family vanishes. My kids, my grandkids, all the things that I've accomplished, all of that stuff vanishes in an instant just by moving me. Do you see the value in you at that level? Do you think about how life would be different, and not in a good way? Life would be less than what it is today if you weren't here. And if you can't see that, if you don't recognize that, DM me. We need to talk. There's internal work to do. And it's not for the faint-hearted. It takes courage, and it's hard to go through that process and peel back the layers and understand where your unhealed areas of your life are, and to actually do the work to have that healing. But man, when you do, I'm here to tell you by personal experience, it changes everything when you go through that internal transformation, and you no longer see yourself as a burden or an accident, or something that held somebody back. When you can understand that you are here, Eric says it all the time, on purpose for a purpose. When you understand that, now all of a sudden you're open and you're curious about what that purpose is. That's fertile ground for transformation. Now you're in a place where you're looking for what can be and what should be in your life. That's a great place to be. There was a point in my life when the good stuff happened, and I was shocked by it, and I wondered why, and I almost pushed it away. I couldn't enjoy it because I would feel like it was temporary. This couldn't be for me. So if you've had those feelings, and God forbid if you're having them now, do the work. Depending on how deep they are, maybe you need an actual therapist. I have one. I did a lot of work with my therapist before I ever showed up on this camera. It was the motivation from seeing how my life transformed when my mindset changed that encouraged me to start to do this. That's why I started to show up. Good morning, Bree. I knew you were on dadpreneur duty. You look so beautiful. You look like you are ready for the world. So yeah, so transformation is not for the faint-hearted. Sometimes it's really hard, but the payout, what you get for it, is a life that's so full and so enriching and so impactful to others. It's worth enduring that temporary sharp pain so that you don't deal for the rest of your life with that dull unknowing, that unfulfilled spirit. So be brave. Take that first step, because bravery doesn't mean that you're not fearful. It just means that you don't let the fear win. You go forward anyway. So that place that you're afraid to go, those memories that you're afraid to deal with, your transformation begins with going there and doing that work so that you do see who you are and how wonderful you are, and you're open to the life that you deserve, and fulfilling and expanding your gifting so that you can do just that, gift it to the world. You make your world a better place by walking in your purpose. So that is what I thought of when I saw this quote. I see a couple of other folks have joined us. Good morning. This is Janelle Daniels in San Antonio, Texas. I'm not sure why I'm showing up as LinkedIn user. Transformation is not for the faint. She copied the quote. I don't know. Every once in a while, it's not just you, Janelle. Every once in a while, folks show up as LinkedIn user. I don't know why that happens. I've seen myself show up that way at times as well. Good morning, Camille from Canada, with all the energy, helping us to get ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally fit. Welcome to the room. It's always great to see you. So I'm going to read the quote one more time, and then Jay, I'm going to pitch it over to you so we can hear what your thoughts are. So, transformation is not for the faint hearted. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. So, when you hear that, Jay, what comes to mind?
Well, I say it all the time, and I go back to my origin story. Um, the time after the tornado, it was a pivotal moment in my life, and it really brought everything I learned together in one moment over the course of many years of living. And transformation is a difficult thing, especially if you are dealing with something as traumatic as a tornado.
Right.
But
Let me stop you for just 1 second. You sound
sure,
really, really low to me. Is everybody else hearing Jay okay?
I hear him great.
You hear him great? Okay, so it must be on my end. All right, sorry about that. Go ahead, Jay.
no problem. So the quote to me goes back to that point in time. If we're if you're in a pivotal moment, if you're in the state of transformation, right? And
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's an external factor that's causing that transformation, you have to understand that sometimes if what looks like a hurdle may just be the opportunity for you to reach the finish line. You know, you see this and during track meets all the time. They've they've got those people that just breeze through those hurdles, and then when they get to the finish line, it you see the joy in their face because all the work that they've put in to overcoming those hurdles and getting to that finish line has just culminated in that one moment. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is, you've got to start. You've got to be in the race. You've got to keep going. You've got to jump those hurdles to be able to get to that finish line. If you just sit at the starting line and stop there, just looking at those hurdles and saying to yourself, I don't know if I can do it. I've worked so hard. I don't want to, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to, I don't want to disappoint my coach. I don't want to disappoint my family. I want to be able to run this race. Well, then run the race.
Run the race.
Just run the race. And yes, they look like hurdles and they are hurdles, but what happens when you clear those hurdles? There's the finish line right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but you have to start. You have to move. You have to get going. And yes, there is transformation on the other side. The
Absolutely.
one, yeah. So the for me, the the actual Bible verse that comes to mind is, so let's not allow ourselves to get fatigued doing good. At
Yes.
at the right time, we will harvest a good crop if we don't give up or quit. And that's Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. This is it. This is the quote for me. Transformation does take work. Um and if you're not willing to put in the work, then it's going to be a difficult climb. Um but and I'm going to use another analogy. If those mountain climbers don't continue on their path, right? It
Hmm.
may be a difficult climb. Maybe the incline is now over your head instead of straight up. And how do you maneuver around that? Well, if it's over your head, you've got to figure a way around it. Get to the summit, you get to the top of that mountain, you can look out across the way and see the beauty that's there. But you have to keep going. And that work, putting that grommet into those little tiny crevices and using all your might with your fingers to pull yourself up, that takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of determination. This is
Absolutely.
the way life works. This is the way things happen. You don't get to the summit without putting in the work. You don't get to the finish line without putting in the work. And it's going to be tough. But there's transformation and there's success and there's life on the other side of those
Mhm.
hurdles, life on the other side of that almost insurmountable mountain that's ahead of you, maybe even on top of you. But what you just have to realize is, as soon as you pass one hurdle, doesn't mean that there's not gonna be another one, but
Right.
you've already cleared one. Now you know how to clear the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. It's just gonna set you up, not for failure, but for success, as long as you
Yes.
keep pushing forward. So that's what comes up for me.
Love it. Love it. The two immediate takeaways for me from what you said, Jay, was the first one is you have to get in the race. You can stand at the finish line all day long and plan your course, but until you put that energy behind the plan and actually implement, then nothing changes. So you have to be willing to do the work and get in the race. And the other thing is clearing the hurdle. Doesn't mean that there won't be another one, but it should encourage you. You've gotten over that first hurdle, which should encourage you and help you to realize what you're capable of. And sometimes we get so bogged down by the fact that there was a hurdle in the first place that we miss the lesson that that hurdle has taught us. I'm stronger than I thought I was. I'm more capable than I thought I was. I can do harder things than I realized. Those lessons are taught to us through our struggles, and we throw the lesson away because we're so focused on the fact that something hard happened in the first place. So when you look back over those difficult times, or when you meet the next difficulty, the next obstacle or hurdle, that's when you realize, man, I have done all of this, everything that has come my way for 55 years. I've cleared every hurdle. So my history says to me that I'm capable of clearing the hurdles. So instead of being discouraged by the struggles that we've gotten through, those are testimonies of our abilities. Testimonies to your strength and to your will and your ability to keep moving forward. So we just have to just change the mindset, just a click, just a little bit. Instead of looking at the struggle itself as, oh my God, I can't believe I had to go through that, is, oh my God, look what I did. As hard as that was, I'm still standing. As bad as that felt, I'm still smiling. As difficult as life has been, I've cleared every hurdle. And here I stand ready, more elevated because I'm stronger than I was before. I'm wiser than I was before. I'm more capable. So I'm ready for whatever comes my way. That's how we look at our obstacles. They prove to us, they are the proof of concept. They're the proof point of everything that you're capable of. They don't mean that just bad things happen to me, unless that's what you make out of them. But if you take those hurdles and the lessons that you've learned from them and allow that to inspire you and to encourage you and keep moving forward, the next hurdle, you're going to clear it by so much more. Sometimes you just barely get over the hurdle. You might even clip that back leg a little and stumble between hurdles. But the more you jump, the more you get your form together, which takes practice. That's all we're doing. We're practicing every day on this thing called life. So the next hurdle, you're not going to clip it. You'll make adjustments in those little steps in between, and you're better prepared for the next one. So remember that. Allow yourself to look at the hurdles that you've already cleared as inspiration versus something that bogs you down and makes you sad. And I've had all these bad things that happened to me. Wouldn't take that away from you at all. I'm not discounting what your experiences are. All I'm saying is if you tweak how you see them, you realize from those experiences just what a badass you are. And that's what I want you to understand, how capable you are, how amazing you are. Look at all the stuff I've done. I've done a lot of stuff in 55 years. It hadn't all been easy, but it's all gotten done. And that's what you want to, how you want to look at your life. It may not have been easy, but I've knocked it all out of the park, one swing at a time. I've gotten it done. And so and then that helps you continue to transform because you keep encouraging and reminding yourself of just what you're capable of. All right. So we've had a couple of comments that have come in. Camille said, not Camille, I'm sorry. Lisa, this quote resonates with me so much. I needed that reminder today. And you're so right, Cassandra Terry. When you allow the transformation to take place, you wake up with such purpose and fulfillment. And that's why we show up every day. We are continuing to fill our cups. And we're hoping that as they spill over, there's something that's coming out that will help you to fill yours. And you get motivated and excited and not just stay there. We don't want to just stay at the pep rally. We want to actually go to the game, get in the game, play it to win. And that's what we're here for, is just to give you a little boost every morning so you're ready to tackle whatever comes your way each day. She says, Lisa also said, good morning, Camille Jones. Good morning, my Trini sister. And I think this is Denise. Not Denise, who told me they were from? The reason that's throwing me off is because we've got a Denise on the
Favorites.
stage.
The favorite.
Janelle says, in my opinion, I'm a good person. I give back. I wake up daily with empathy for those who are so less fortunate, those who are abused, mistreated, yet I just can't enjoy life right now. I need transformation for 2024 and beyond. Yes, I need therapy. I've been through therapy repeatedly and I'm at a standstill. So Janelle, my heart goes out to you. I hate that that's how you're feeling this morning. Hold on. However, we're here and I would love for you to reach out. Let's have a conversation. If there's anything that I can do to help you in your transformation journey, that's why we're here. And that's why we have these conversations. And I appreciate your transparency. You're not the only one. You may be the only one that's willing to say it out loud. And in you doing so, you're probably helping somebody else. But we are definitely here and willing to help you. So before I choke, I'm going to put it over to you, Denise.
Good morning. Get a little water, Cassandra. Good morning, Janelle and Lisa and Camille and everybody that's in the listening area. I asked a friend who called. I have a schoolmate, and he has a younger brother. And over the years, he used to hang out, when we were playing PS4 and things like that. And then we reconnected way after school, and we all reconnected and became friends again. And I had to get his permission because he called me. The younger brother called me. He's 39 years old. He's a father of 5, brilliant person and a wonderful father. And before I asked him, could I share the story? Because it's so perfect for Transformation Tuesday. He's going through it. And he said he remembered something about my divorce and he thought maybe I could help him. And before I knew it, we were crying together. And I'm trying to say all this without crying again, but what he was going through, and I just feel like maybe somebody needs to hear this. I've been through it. And it doesn't matter if you're a dad or if you're a mom. If you go through a divorce and there are kids involved, you suddenly find yourself with these moments where you're alone, where your house used to be full of noise and full of that joyous noise that our kids make, you know, that laughter, the TVs are going, and they just bring so much energy into a space. And when you have that first time that you drop your kids off or your kids are picked up by the other parent, there is such a void. And he was going through that for the first time. And I listened and I heard him cry. And it's a reminder to men, to fathers, that it's okay to cry. You know, he said something. He said, I am 39 years old. I have 5 children. They're not here. And it is my biggest fail. And I reminded him that it's not a fail. It's a moment, right? And while he used to go to church and he said, you know, I haven't been to church in so long. While all was good and I wasn't going to church when everything was perfect, I didn't go to church. But now that my life, or as he put it, my marriage is like crashed and burned, I'm just run back to God. It doesn't work like that. God doesn't work like that. And I let him finish, but I reminded him, actually, it works just like that. It's about presenting and yielding and submitting all that you are in the moment that you are, the good and the not so good, the pretty and the ugly parts. You give all of that. You hold it like in the palm of your hand and you give it to the one who created you, right? You guys know that song, Take Me to the King? It's one of my favorites. She says, I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces, but it's my offering. And so what I guess I'm saying is that in yielding and surrendering your broken heart, in surrendering your hurt, your grieving self, one thing is certain, that transformation is just around the corner, because you do have to walk through it. You have to walk into it and through it. You can't avoid it. You can't pretend it's not there. You have to walk right through that thing. And I don't care if you didn't talk to God and pray yesterday, last year, or for 10 years, he's still there standing, the one who created you, waiting for you to just turn around and say, I need you. And if you place your unwavering trust in the one who created you, of this I am certain, transformation is coming. Thank you.
I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think I figured out, Janelle, that it's because we weren't connected, maybe is why you show up that way. But I sent you a connection request so that, and if you go to my page, you'll see, I think I still have it there. If not, I'll send it to you directly. My calendar, so you can schedule some time for us to get to know each other. The holiday season is upon us, and for a lot of us, we feel heavy during that time of the year anyway. And just so you have an outlet, I would love to have the opportunity for us to connect and to talk a little bit more, because I just believe, just like even what Denise was just sharing, when someone opens up and they're transparent, if you're fortunate enough to be the receiver of that, don't just let it pass by. At least offer something, if it's just a listening ear, because we just never know what people are going through. And sometimes just having a safe space to dump their bucket and just kind of get it out is all that people need. So I'm not a fixer. I can't fix anybody's problems, but I can listen, and maybe help you redirect, if you're having a hard time looking at a particular situation. Maybe give you an alternative way to consider it. But I'm not a fixer, but I do care. And that's open to any of you guys. if you're struggling, reach out. That's why we're here. And sometimes we do get people with extremely transparent stories. And it's a vulnerable place. And just like Denise just shared, it's an honor for someone to share their vulnerability with you. But then when they do, take a little bit of responsibility to create that safe environment and see how you might be able to walk that walk with them, as they figure out, what their next steps are. So I grabbed while I was choking. I survived. Had to wet my whistle, but I did grab my phone because and I'm looking at the comments from LinkedIn, and I'm learning, guys, that a lot of the comments I don't see. Some comments show up where we are, and I can see them and read them out. But there's so many more comments on the actual LinkedIn page that haven't showed up here, and it may be because each of us are sharing on our pages. And so I don't know, but I just wanted to take a look and respond to some of the other comments that have come in, that we couldn't see. Um, Zomzi said, "Good afternoon." I'm interested, Zomzi. Where are you joining us from? This is my first time seeing your name. Welcome. Sherry Holmes says, "Aloha, y'all. Are loved on this Giving Tuesday. Good morning, sunshine." Good morning, Cherry. Thank you so much for being with us. There's Sharon. Sharon says, "Good morning from Houston." Let's see. Camille says, "You must celebrate the steps of the journey. So when the struggle comes, we have receipts in our behavior that we can get through this because we have done it before in so many other areas of our life." Absolutely, Camille. Those little small celebrations of the things that we come through remind us. So she said, yes, we must celebrate the steps of the journey. So when the struggle comes, we have receipts. Y'all know having receipts is that's something that you see on TV all the time. Oh, you don't want to tell? That's how you remember it. And they go to their phones. They start bringing up the text messages. They're looking for receipts. They're looking for proof that their side of the story is what's actually true. And that's what we're talking about. Look at your receipts. Understand the price that you've already paid. Understand the resilience and the courage and the things that you've already paid for with your life and with how you've lived your life and everything that you've come for. When you look at your receipts after the holidays, you're like, oh Lord, I didn't mean to spend that much. And you see this big long, all the stuff you've done, right? Your life is no different. Every hurdle that you've overcome, there's a receipt for that. And that receipt reminds you, just like she said, when the hard times come, you can pull that receipt out and look at all that you've already bought and paid for. That proves that you can get through this thing as well. So thanks for that analogy, Camille. That's great. Let's see. Sherry says, "Have y'all heard of CSR, corporate social responsibility, or corporate social impact?" To a certain extent, we have a corporate social responsibility officer at my job. And in that context, it just means that there's things at this company, because being a company in an area, you're taking resources, you're getting things from the area, and the corporate responsibility is what the company is giving back. And we have all kinds of programs and things that our company does in the areas where we have locations. So I've heard it from that perspective, but I'm not exactly sure if that's what you mean. So if you want to say more about that, Cherry, feel free to drop some more information. And speaking of that, I see that you're a teacher. And one of the things that our company gives back is resources for teachers to help teach their kids about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So there's a lot of free resources that are available for teachers. So if you're interested in that, DM me and I can get you the link, because there's a lot of classroom support that you may be able to take advantage of with your kiddos. All right, so let's see. MD Shaheen says, "Hello, everyone. Good day." And then he's got a commercial. He's got all of his skills and what his rates are. So he's looking for a job. If anybody's looking for someone in the e-commerce digital marketing space, his information is there. And then Emoniki. I know I am really butchering your name, but welcome. It's afternoon here in Nigeria. Happy Transformation Tuesday. Same to you. And Poku says, greetings to all. All right. So I'm going to read the quote one more time. And then it's going to be over to you, Brian, if you're able. I don't know where you are in your journey, so we'll see who's who unmutes, if it's Brian or if it looks like you might be available. So I'm going to read it quickly and let you unmic. Transformation is not for the faint-hearted. It takes courage to endure the sharp pains of self-discovery rather than choose to take the dull pain of unconsciousness that would last the rest of our lives. So if you're able, go ahead and unmute, Brian.
Hey, Grand Rising, everyone. Today is a great day to be on this side of the grass. I'm still in transit, so if I break up, just know I'm in the back of the woods, and the reception I hear is horrible. MD, we're going to start charging rates for commercials that are dropped in the comments ASAP, real soon. Not my show, but I'd like to say Cassandra does hear my voice, because the voice within wins. With that said, I just want to say that transformation is an ever evolving process, right? You never stop transforming. It's inevitable. The thing is the kind of transformation that you endure, right? You have to decide what kind of transformation you want in your life, because you're going to transform either way. That's just part of the journey. And it's not always going to be sunshine and roses, right? Every day is not going to be a great day. Everything that happens is not going to be what you want it to happen. That's just life, and it's different for everyone. Transformation again. It's inevitable. You just have to go through it. You have to prepare yourself for it. You have to prepare for the pain. You have to prepare for the joy, right? Because if you get lost in the joy, the next time the hurdles come, then you're so comfortable that you find yourself wallowing in misery because you were so comfortable in your good times. Good times don't always last, and neither do bad times. Transformation is for you. It's not working against you. It's for you, and it's about the time. It's about the time that you put into your self-discovery. It's about the time you put into, like Cassandra said, going back over those receipts and remembering, what led me to this point. What about the good days that I had before I got here? What about the bad times? What did I learn? Right? That's what transformation is. Transformation is reflection. Transformation is preparation. Transformation is it's propagation, right? That's what transformation is. It's planting the seed and it's getting ready for what's about to come. So with that, Cassandra, I've got a challenge that I'm scheduled to be on in about an hour. I'm gonna go grab some coffee, and I'll keep listening. But you guys just know that transformation is for you, and it's for you to get up and go.
Love it. Thank you, Brian. And he's right. Transformation, it never ends. It's a journey that has no final destination. As long as we're here, we're changing, we're evolving all the time. But are you aware? What we want you to be is conscious, like in the quote, versus being unconscious and just going through the motions. When you're conscious, you have more input, you're more in the driver's seat. So be conscious, understand that change is going to continue to happen, but you have a lot more control in that process when you click in and turn the awareness up, so that you're participating in your life and you're not just responding and being drugged through by circumstances and external factors. All right, Mr. Clark, soul speaker, grounding, bringing us the sunshine on what looks like a pretty chilly day. What comes to mind for you this morning?
The sharp pain, grand rising, everybody. The the air is very, very cold this morning. The grass is frosted over, so I know you see the sunshine, but it is very cold. And so this transformational Tuesday, the sharp pains, that quote, the two words sharp pains in the quote is what really stuck out. Because even as I'm grounding and as I'm benefiting from grounding, the chill in the air is just cold, right? And that can affect you as much as you allow it or not allow it. And so I'm choosing the transformational benefits of grounding over the temporary pain of the cold air. And so that's where that landed with me today is just the choice in transformation through pain or through struggle or through sacrifice. It's the choice. Uh, and sometimes that's not going to look like celebration and pom poms, or it's not going to look glamorous all the time. But it is important to just keep showing up. You will find strength. You will find uh, you will find energy out of places that you're not even aware of. Um, and so I think it goes along with Cassandra. You always say things are happening for us and not to us. And so you will find as you're going through the journey that things will happen for you, even if it may look like at one point that it is a difficult or a challenge. It's still in the long run is happening for you. And if you have faith and believe in that, I think as you check those receipts and confirm that you're on a journey. And so that's where I arrived this morning. That's how I'm showing up, and how that quote lands on me today is that the sharp pains are obvious. It's clear. It's cold. It's my nose is dripping. It's not the greatest, but it is amazing to be with my tribe, grounding and growing in a way that as I check my receipts, I'm excited as I am over the moon to be at this place in time in life. And for that to be real for me and to know who I am and to be in that direction is this pain is nothing. This pain is temporary. This pain is just a temporary obstacle in a day that'll be full of accomplishments, that'll be full of conversations with my sister Denise about Goat Maggie and how that's going to be the tagline of our next healing and breathing conference in Jamrock. It's just, who knows what today will be. And so I'm super excited. I'm grateful and appreciative to be in community. So those sharp thorns, those temporary pains are nothing. You know what I'm saying, Cassandra? That's just temporary. It's temporary. So
Exactly. And I think the great thing about the grounding example is a lot of times we talk about looking back at the hard times and being able to see the strength and what we've gained from overcoming those situations. You're actually present in the moment, feeling pain from the
yeah,
wind, dealing with the elements, but you're there because you can see in real time the benefit outweighs the discomfort. And so you're choosing to focus on that benefit so that you can deal with the discomfort long enough to get what it is you're after. And that's conscious living. That's being self-aware. That's being in the moment. That's living. That's really living. Because if we're looking backwards, we can't affect that. It's already gone. If we're looking forward, we can't predict it. It hasn't happened yet. All we really have is right now, this moment. So how we show up in this moment, it will affect what's going to happen next. And so we need to be aware. We need to, be present and make the best out of every moment. Suck every bit of nectar out of this life that you can. We get this one, as far as we know. This is it in the flesh, right? So take every good thing that it has to offer and run with it. And it starts with us deciding that that's how we're going to live. I can look at the cold or I can look at the benefit that I get from grounding. It's a choice. And that's the reminder that we have in different ways every single day. We show up to remind you of your power and your ability to make a choice so that choices are not made for you and you're not just living in response to everything that's going on, but that you're actually making conscious decisions that are going to take you through that transformation that you're looking for and end you where you'd like to be, living the life that you want to live. So that is it, guys, for today. We have come to an end of our Transformation Tuesday. Thank you for joining the Cassandra Morning Show. We will be back tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Central for Wake Up Wednesday. On Wednesday, the word of the day is intentionality. We will talk about the power and the benefit of living an intentional life. So we will see you guys back then, back tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Central. In the meantime, if you guys need any of us, we are all available on LinkedIn, which is where the majority of you guys that I can see are joining us from. Hit our profiles, DM us if there's something that you need to talk about further. And we all have other social media as well. So just look us up by name. You can find us. We are not hard to find and we are here to help. So we look forward to tomorrow morning. See you back then, 7:15 a.m. Central for Wake Up Wednesday on the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Thanks, Fam 5. I'm sure we'll be talking again soon and we'll all be back tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Denise, are you laughing at my wave? Bye, guys. Have a great rest of your day.